Bottle, where we offer a layman's view on anything and everything basketball from a bunch of regular dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe hoops. I'm Julio. We're kind of excited now because, but I'm Julio. To my left is EJ.
So,
And above me is Mike.
What's up, guys?
Please like and follow our Facebook page, The Bench Live, but I'm not going to get into that so much because we just came from watching this wild game. And that's why we're kind of delayed here because we are hoop junkies and we could not get off the France-Slovenia game that had just concluded right now and it went down the wire and we're still watching what's going on. And then France advances to the gold final game.
Yes.
Yep. Against the USA. So we'll be talking about both those games today along with some free agency. So, you know what? Mike, let's go. What happened, man, in the end of that game?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know why First of all, I don't know why Luka gave up that basketball. That was his time. I mean, you're one down. You kind of expected him to take that shot. But like I said,
he was one-on-one, man.
He was, yes. There wasn't even...
They didn't double him or anything like that.
Exactly. That's why I commented. Yeah, that was so LeBron, though. He made the right basketball play. That was so LeBron, man. I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
Pero, I don't know.
LeBron,
I don't know. He's taken, he's taken more...
LeBron.
The game was so...
Let me put it this way.
Okay, go.
He's forced enough shots in the NBA to not take that one.
I'm baffled. I'm so baffled by the pass.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well,
yes.
He can create that separation himself, It's like not like he's not capable. He can create the separation. He can take the shot. I mean, he's probably got by far the best shot on the team. So
he did not take the last two shots because it was this. Who's this guy's name? The guy who, what is his name? Who are we? Who was the guy?
I don't even know, man.
Who was that guy?
Every time I watch the video, it's Luka versus the other team.
I know, right? So who is this guy who took that shot? We gotta research that. Who's the guy who took that shot, and who is the guy who Luka passed to for that game-winning, supposed to be shot? I mean,
we would appreciate actually if someone could just put it in the comments, okay, who this guy is and why Luka passed to him. If you could elucidate, we would appreciate.
I have him already. This is the guy who I said his name sounds like Pepe Le Pew. Okay, his name is Clemen Prepelic. Prepelic. I mean, it can't be Prepelic because it's not also Doncic. So it's Clemen Prepelic.
Yes.
And he must have like the utter complete trust of Luka Doncic right now to have. Yeah, man. Okay, you coined the title, EJ Magic Flake, because why wasn't Luka? I mean, you would think that Luka Magic. This was Luka Magic's time, dude.
This is why we hit like LeBron in the past so many times, right? I mean, you're supposed to be MJ, right? You're supposed to be the next guy.
Yes.
And you keep saying you're the GOAT now and everything. And it's like, except, in the crucial moments you pass, those big moments you pass. You're a good passer, sure, but, you're the guy. So you take the shot, right?
Yeah.
But I could understand with LeBron. Because he had guys like Wade and Bosh. He had Kyrie and Kevin Love, and other guys that could really shoot. That's why I'd like someone to please explain who he passed to, because it's like, was that guy somewhere in the level of Kyrie Irving that, Luka Magic had to pass to him and we ended up with a Magic Flake?
In fairness, the pass to him to make the 3-point shot was a good, technically it went in, that's a good decision, right? But I don't know, even if Prepelic made the shot on the drive of a Luka pass, I think with 19 seconds left, down 1, this should have been a Luka all the way. I mean, live and die with the results with Luka. Diba? I mean, that's why I was like ahead I think with you guys a little. I didn't want to say anything. That I really thought it was going to be the headline will be Luka takes it home in that last
Yeah,
second
yeah.
for Slovenia to end up in the finals. But well, they're gonna have to play the bronze game then.
Dude, I would have even said 1 of 2 million. 1 of 2 million, man. There are only 2 million freaking people in Slovenia, and this guy happens to be one of the best players in the world.
Yep.
And he still
He-
is. He still is 1 of 2 million. But we just ended up with a magic Flake today.
Yeah. He's not 1 in a million. He's 1 in 2 million.
2 million, yeah.
Yeah, I like
rarer,
that.
even rarer, dude.
I like that. So this is a crazy game because France was already up by they were up by like 8 or 9 in the
Yeah,
third or something.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
No, they were even up by like 5 late in the game. They were up by
Early
5.
in the game, though, Slovenia really, torched them a bit. But then France took
Yeah.
over. They had more talent. It's like, and you're expecting that because France really, it's like, if you look at their roster, it's like if you're an NBA fan, you'd be like, oh, I recognize a whole bunch of these guys. And you look
Yeah.
at the Slovenian team and you're like, Luka. That's it.
Yep.
It's Luka
It's just
and
Luka.
Dragic. No, it's Luka
And
and
Goran.
Dragic.
Just
Not
because
Dra-
he's the brother of Goran. That's it. Right?
No,
He's not even in the NBA. Just because he's the brother.
I was gonna say it's Luka and Dragic, but it's not even the Dragic in the
Dragon,
NBA
yes.
right now.
It's not even the
No.
dragon.
It's not even the Dragon. It's the Filipino actor. Someone made a joke before that Zoran is in Slovenia, but he's like, "What's that, Zoran Legaspi?" Anyway, that's I'm gonna go with that one. And then okay, so now that was we couldn't get into the stream because of that game, and now we have France in the gold medal match against, of course, the USA. So let's go to the USA game now, which was played at around
But I have to
12.
say first, we do have to give props to France. Gobert made some insane blocks. He
Yeah.
blocked
Yes.
shots. It's like his defense was there. France's firepower was there. It was spread out a lot more.
Yeah.
Luka really tried to involve his team, but it was really obvious that he had to carry, and the reason they're there was because of him, right? But you can see, you could if Fournier actually didn't have foul trouble, I believe France would have been up by a lot more.
Well, Fournier made that. He had that offensive foul, which
Yeah.
pretty much
And he had the final blunder.
but that was pretty much the reason why they allowed Slovenia to even come back. They were up by 5, or they were up by 4. What happened? I think they were that same guy, the propeller
Yeah.
was fouled. He missed one free throw, made the second. They were up by 4, and then Fournier gives that little elbow for the offensive foul. But okay, like what you were saying, EJ, is that it's supposed to be France in the finals.
Yeah.
It's
It's like I was rooting for Slovenia, but it's like
Yes.
I was expecting a bigger lead. It was
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
that it was that close, and they had the shot, right? They had
had
a
the
real
shot to
shot
win it.
there.
But yeah, ako, to be honest, the dream matchup would have been. I'm sure that's the popular opinion now.
Yeah.
On who do you want to see in the finals? Is Slovenia basically Luka versus the USA. But then
yeah.
I think we'll get a better final with France moving forward than Slovenia.
I heard about the odds though of this game, and Vegas knows, man. The odds was only minus 3.5 for France. It was really it was meant to be a close game. That's close
Science.
odds. Yeah.
Science,
Only complete science. That's what it is.
gambling science.
Gambling science. Yeah.
There's enough money that goes in there that they're like fucking gambling scientists
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
No, because I was telling Mike a while ago, I have a friend who does a lot of sports betting, and he was making me cuento how shocked he was, how much respect the bookkeepers were giving Luka at making it minus 3.5. Because you were saying that France is so stacked compared to
Right.
Slovenia, right? So, but and look, they win by 1. So it's right there, man. Vegas knows. Okay. On the other side,
Now we can
come on.
talk about Team USA.
now we could talk about Team USA. On the other side of the gold medal match is Team USA, who does exactly the same thing they did against Spain.
Exactly the same. Yep.
Exactly the same thing they did. They went up against Australia and decided to go down by 15 early
hmm
in the first half, and then inch their way back. They were down by 6 by halftime,
No,
and
they were
then ran away.
down by two.
Oh, two lang at
Two
halftime.
lang.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it
they
was
were
6
down by
points.
two at half in the half.
They were down by 2 at halftime, and
Or
then
three. Two
they
or
kicked.
three. No, no, no. Sorry, they were down by three because that the Tatum last shot would have tied
Would
it.
have would have tied it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they were down by three.
and they kicked the afterburners in the third
That's it.
quarter,
Yeah,
and that's they went up by 6 early in the third, and then
right.
that's it. Diretso na.
Mm.
Booker took over.
Yep.
Booker took over in the third quarter. Booker himself outscored the other team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the third.
Mm.
So this is the Booker game. Well, but KD was still the top scorer, right?
Yeah, he was the outscorer. Just that Booker woke up.
Yeah, because
In
he had
the,
the whole
and I mean
first
the
half.
problem because KD is your clear go-to, right? But
Yeah.
all the other guys are near. They're around there at that level. You don't know exactly who you go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
defer to. You know, Tatum could be that guy. Booker, Lillard, any of those guys could be that guy. You know that
Booker
that
scored-
could be your secondary scorer at any night. You
You
know?
know, I don't really remember. Booker scored 20, so he scored most of this probably in the third.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, because
That's when the score exploded.
It was
I
all
was like,
KD
I
in the
just-
first half, diba?
Yeah,
just
I just
watch
looked
it.
away for a bit and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, 20 points na yung lead.
Yeah. Actually, we were watching it. Julio and I were watching it live earlier, but we were talking, so we were
We were talking.
we were talking about different
We were
stuff.
We were trying to figure out if we could do a live game and watch and talk, and this is why we're late, because we figured out watching France and Slovenia that we couldn't.
We couldn't. We couldn't.
Yeah, we were planning to start at 8 and we were like, yeah, we're gonna start at 8. I don't think so.
Yeah, half of me was like, should it just get Tambak so we can start, or
Yeah.
whenever Slovenia would come back and be like, wow, Slovenia's coming back. Okay,
Yeah.
but that makes it loud. So that it's the FIBA World's revenge match.
Right.
That's what we have right now in the
Right.
finals.
And
USA
like I
versus
said, man, I think it's a more exciting matchup anyway. It would have been nice to see, but I really didn't see Slovenia having a shot with
I'm just really
against the
big.
US.
I'm such a big Luka fan that I wanted to see him go up against Team USA by himself. I just wanted to see that. How does this
Ako
look
din.
like?
Same, dude.
How does this look like? You know, it's like this is the one matchup we never saw. Can we just, you know, like, can we come up with what do you call this? Not a poll. Tawag nito, where you sign up. Sorry,
A
What,
survey.
like a-
we get
change-
enough
survey.
signatures.
A survey.
change.org or something.
Yeah, like a change.org. You know,
Yeah,
can we get
yeah.
what do you call that?
I know.
I'm at a loss for a petition.
A petition.
There you go, a
Petition.
petition.
Okay.
Can we come up with a petition? It's like, screw it, you know. It's like, can we come up with just an exhibition game, you know, Slovenia versus the US? You know, I think that's what a lot of people want to see.
Yeah.
Kahit 2 quarters lang, all out.
half was that shit. But
Yeah, exactly. You know, just let them go all out. Para, you know, wala lang pagod, whatever. You don't have to risk injury. Just, you know, a good 20-minute game. You know, just to see how. That's what I'm a little disappointed about. I've seen this already. I've seen what, you know. I've seen USA, you know, France. I've seen these guys
Yeah.
go up against each other. I wanted to see Luka by himself go up against these guys. Man, that would have been something.
you know, all the memes were coming out. All the memes were coming out that all the big threes in basketball, and then it just had 3 Luka faces for Slovenia.
Triple Luka.
there was like LeBron, like K-Love, Kyrie, then there was the Dubs big three, and then they had one team Slovenia, 3 Luka faces.
Well, it's
those
getting
guys,
crazy.
yeah.
It's getting crazy. The memes recently after
Yeah,
free
dude.
agency, man. Even with the Lakers lang, tad ng memes.
He
ng
was
Lakers.
pretty nuts. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to
What's been
yeah.
covered? what haven't we covered in free agency? We covered quite a lot in the last
No,
episode.
we covered the last one. We'll just okay. If we're gonna move into
Yeah,
free agency
let's,
now,
let's wrap up the USA
you want to wrap up. So, when is the game, Mike? Again,
Saturday.
the game will be Saturday.
Saturday around noon time. I'll have to check for the exact time, but
Yeah,
that's them trying to fit in that schedule with the prime time in the US. So that's why it's at
yeah.
around
No, it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I think, in the morning. 10:30.
yeah, something like that. Para it's around 7 prime time in the West, and then 10 p.m. in the East.
Yeah. So our idea of going on while the game's going on looks like it's gonna
Yeah,
not
looks
work.
like-
We're just
yeah,
gonna
it's
go
not
right.
good.
We're just gonna go right after the game.
Right. Yep.
We
Or
can watch
maybe-
it like
or
this.
maybe
and then-
towards the ano, if it's a blowout game, then maybe we can jump in a little
Yeah.
earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, but it's gonna be good. I mean, USA, France, but yeah, I'm kind of with EJ there. I mean, would have been nice to see Slovenia in the finals, but it's kind of like, okay, how do you say it? It's kind of like a slap in Eurobasket face. All these years of all these other countries, developing and all that. I mean, they've had good programs, developed so many stars who played in the NBA, and it just takes one Luka Magic in one Olympic tournament to just swat
Yeah.
them away. So because I mean, who did he beat? He beat Lithuania, and then he just
Argentina.
was Argentina. He was creating a tear in the Olympics, and now he's gonna oust France also.
Mhm.
That's
They beat Spain
I
also.
mean, did they beat? Oh yeah, they beat Spain
They
in
beat
the
Spain
in the group stages.
Yes.
Yeah,
Close game din yun.
sarap. That's the only thing nice about doing a night stream though, that we can actually have drink. But I made my iced coffee already. What do you have, Mike?
I have this. So because the games
Yeah.
are in Tokyo, this is what I used to drink when the last time I was in Japan. So just to
There's
get
EJ
into
looking
the
for a sponsor.
and then
EJ's looking for a sponsor for us.
the London soda. Oh, that's a good dude. Masarap na chaser yan.
I know.
May
Okay,
tasty video ako sa gitna ng basketball basketball.
It's like NBA / cocktail mixing.
And now for our sponsors. Zesto.
Who's Zesto? They're local. We can tap into them. Zesto Dalandan.
All right, so
Okay.
So what?
We're closing this
maybe
now.
thoughts na lang on the finals matchup. What do you guys think?
EJ, what's your thought? Even though you kind of gave it already, what's your thoughts on this finals?
KD is going to score again for Team USA, and then it's either gonna be Tatum, Booker, Lillard, Middleton.
You can roll
One of those guys is gonna
whole.
be the secondary scorer,
Yeah.
and then the third scorer is gonna be also one of your Booker or Lillard. Maybe even Draymond. And if Draymond scores 8 points, they win. That's
Okay.
that's my prediction.
Okay.
Let's go. You, Mike.
Ako wala.
For the
Same
final.
story. I can see it
Yeah.
na. The France will be leading in the first half. The US will be out rebounded. They'll be leading. They'll be breaking their threes, and then they'll wake up in the third quarter to win gold.
Okay.
I think
I'm
it'll
gonna
be
be-
the
Yeah,
same
it
story.
really depends. It's like when the US gets hot, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a different route, but I'm not gonna root for France. I say the US comes out fast and quick and ends this quite fast, and it's gonna be a blowout.
Well, that's a
That's-
possibility because you know why? Of all the teams that they faced, all the tough teams that they faced, they've had experience with France already in this tournament. So more
Yeah,
or less,
and-
this
and-
is the second game. So more or less, I think they'll come prepared. They won't have a slow
Yeah.
start. as
Yeah, they can
did.
actually look at tape.
Yes, they can actually
No,
look
You
at
have to
them.
study tape.
Yeah. No, and I
Like,
think
you're done. You actually had to play them in an exhibition match.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
no, and I think they're gonna use the fuel. I mean, that's gonna be the theme of whoever's their vocal leader in the locker room, Draymond, or is it KD, and then Pop. They're gonna be Pop will be reminding them about their loss in FIBA. They're gonna be reminding them about the loss in the group stages, and that's gonna be their rallying cry. So I think they're gonna come out very strong, uh, and and coast to victory. So we'll see.
And Pop might give KD a pep talk. Now just imagine, look at Fournier. Doesn't he remind you of Russ? And then it fires KD up. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it. That's the same way they fired up
yeah.
Tatum in that last game where he
Yeah.
just said, just imagine you're playing the Spurs.
Or Kerr might give him a pep talk, trying to make a comparison to MJ again.
Hey KD, no, Kerr might tell him, diba, hey Kevin, Steph's not here. It's your time.
Naka naman. Okay,
Right, free agency.
All right,
free agency. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna go to our free agent tracker again, and I don't know if they have this complete, but we stopped off. We're basing it on Bleacher Report, so we stopped off pretty much with on top here. It's the whole Kyle Lowry thing. And then it goes to what happens next. So like Marc Gasol returning to the Lakers
Mhm.
after his loss. So Marc Gasol opts into his second year with the Lakers. Nothing great. Nothing surprising there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then remember, Mike, our theory on the Dubs and Spurs.
Yeah, yeah,
The theory.
to go
Yeah,
out the window really fast the next
yeah,
day.
that. Yeah, I think they were just waiting. My new theory now. You know the theory, EJ, right? You heard the theory.
I'm familiar.
We had the theory that none of the Spurs players were moving in day one of free agency, and Oubre was still there, who had some interest, and when we coughed up this thing like Pop and Kerr were in Tokyo, and they might just make a sign and trade. Instant
And who
rebuild.
is the one that's interested? It's like Kirk could just tell Pop, this guy really
You know
wants
what?
to play for you, and Pop's like,
Before you
Yeah.
go too far with the topic, you guys just talk. I'll just change caps.
No, because it was just funny how it was funny how none of the Spurs at all moved. No one was picked up on
Wala.
in the first day, so we thought that something was
Wala.
brewing. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that soon. We'll get to that also. So, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go through the all the Spurs na one by one. So we'll get into what you're talking about right there. So we first find out that the Jazz are signing Rudy Gay to 2 years, so
Yep.
he's picked off.
Good pick.
And then all of a sudden, Steve, Patty Mills
Yes.
gets picked up by the Nets. Me and Jay couldn't be here tonight because he has a lot of stuff. He's moving. Me and Jay were hardcore trying to get each other at who would get Patty Mills. I wanted the Dubs on the MLE.
Didn't
Jay
you have,
wanted Patty Mills.
Didn't you guys have a bet going on who would get him?
I tried to fool him with a burger bet. I tried to fool him that
Oo nga,
if
hindi siya,
they
he
got
didn't
Patty,
bite. I saw
He
that
didn't
guy
bite.
didn't bite.
yeah. But Patty Mills ends up with the Nets. You guys just chime in, if you have any thoughts, big thoughts on what. So Patty Mills is 2 years with the Nets, making them even more powerful. And the third Spur to leave would be DeMar DeRozan. I guess that's why you're wearing your Bulls cap right there, because DeMar DeRozan. I don't have here the exact details, but it's a sign and trade with the Bulls, right?
Yes.
They're here.
Yep.
Sign and trade for Tad Young, Al Farouk Aminu, one first rounder and 2 second rounders.
Yeah. Okay, pulled it out right here. The Bulls
Memorize
are
ko yan,
yeah.
dude. Memorize ko yan.
Memorize mo na? Okay.
It's between my two teams, man. The old and the new.
Oh. So what do we have? Is this a Bulls super team now? Is this,
Don't
what do
naman
we have
voodoo
now,
it.
man?
Don't naman
Dean.
voodoo it, dude. Ako naman, you know how I root for the underdogs, diba? I mean, as strong as they are, as stacked as they are now, they're still underdogs, dude. The first goal is to get to the playoffs next year with this roster.
I mean, they have Vucevic, they have Levine, they have DeRozan, they have, but then
have
then it's
Ball.
like
They have
Lonzo
Ball.
Ball,
Lonzo
and
Ball.
then Kobe White is still an
Kobe White's-
improving
yeah.
point guard, and with Kobe White now for sure as your sixth man, I think that's a more solid move. I think he's better there.
I think there's a Wilder sixth man right there. I'm not sure if he's going to start, but I think he's going to be the sixth man of the century. Caruso.
Oh, Caruso pa nga. Yeah. Yep.
That's right. That's
Caruso.
right. I
Diba?
missed that.
Crucial.
Selective memory. I'm kind of sad that Lakers lost the Bald
You left
Eagle.
it. You left it.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
And
big
then
fan of that guy. He gives hope to a lot of white guys.
um, the supposed starting five now will end up becoming Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, uh, Patrick Williams. Is that his name? What's his name again? Patrick Williams, the rookie. They're
Wow.
Kawhi-esque.
They're starting the
Yeah.
rookie, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, who would start at the four right now?
Oh yeah, kasi they kind of
Darnell,
gave up
Dar-
on Markkanen already.
Well, unless Markkanen comes back. Also, that's but I
Markkanen is
saw,
still a free agent. Yeah, so we don't know where Markkanen's going to
Yeah.
end up.
but he's restricted, so there's still a big chance he's gonna go back to the Bulls because all
Yeah.
the Bulls has to do is match. So, but they started Patrick Williams last year and they put Markkanen on the bench. I don't see why it would change now
Well,
all of a sudden.
True.
Patrick Williams is 6'8", so 6'7", 6'8". He can easily do the Thad Young role.
Yep.
Okay, anything else on the Bulls? No more. That's about it, no?
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, the coexistence of Levine and DeRozan. They're almost the same guy, with Levine just having more of a shot, so he can stretch the team more. So I'm just wondering, DeRozan, he's the guy that slashes in, passes it out to either Butch or. I mean, I think there's a little more stretch to go around, especially if DeRozan develops a three a little bit more. He really needs to get over that, man. He needs to just start developing his three a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing that's missing from his game. But it's an old dog. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
teach him that.
He's an old dog, and their coach is Billy Donovan, who doesn't teach any new tricks.
No,
Diba?
You know what? There seems to be a resurgence din naman with the mid-range game nowadays, diba? I mean, you're looking at KD, who basically lives in the mid-range, except for
Yeah.
diba? And then you're looking at Giannis, and we're calling out Giannis. We've been calling out Giannis throughout the playoffs na he should develop.
turn around fadeaway.
If you look at if you study DeRozan, which I've watched a lot of him when I follow the Spurs games throughout the season. He's very technically sound with his that mid-range shot that he has.
Yeah.
He has several moves when he gets to that elbow, and he has several moves to get to that elbow. So if you look at it, it's ano lang eh. I think he just needs to go to a team that can maximize those strengths. Kasi the problem with the Spurs, as much as the numbers showed differently, we weren't able to maximize that just because we needed shooters eh. And because he was our main guy, we needed him to be that guy to get it
Yeah.
for us. But then, yun na nga, if we had shooters, then maybe that would have worked better for us. But I love DeRozan. I mean, I think he's a one of the good guys, quote unquote, good guys of the NBA. And hey, man, I'm happy for him that he goes to a team that could potentially, make some waves in the playoffs at least.
I always liked DeRozan's game. I mean, without the three, he had a mean drive and a mean slash and a nice stop on the elbow and make that little.
Yeah.
I liked. You know what? I'm with you guys on that. I love the three ball because it does, but I do not understand why they just refuse to take those twos when
Yes.
it's a 3-point game.
Yes.
It's like they would rather take 3-point shots to try it than take a quick nice 10-footer, 12-footer because they can
play
take, you know what I mean?
Play D.
And then play D. I don't get it, man. I don't. That's how I felt the Warriors lost in Game 7 against the Cavs. Can you imagine if all those times they were just shooting threes, they just drove it or something?
That's pretty much our 2K philosophy, diba?
I mean, it's like it's the whole money ball thing. It's like they fell in love with the stats that even though no matter how many threes you take, it's the better shot in the long run and all of that. I just don't think they found that real balance yet.
Yes.
When when I think it's going to be the next evolution there, where
Yes.
you finally have balance between taking the mid, driving the 3-point shot, and when they really practice that. I mean, it's hard to split. If you have an open three, it's like right now, you take it. But I think they're just gonna have to figure out the right balance.
That's true.
Yep.
Okay, well, since I said to the Dubs, I mean, the next item right here is that the Warriors signing I always have a hard time pronouncing this guy's name. Nemanja Bjelica.
Bielitsa. Yeah, Bielitsa.
Bjelica, yeah. But how do you say it? Is it Nemanja? It's Nemanja, right? Because it's J is
Think
a
so.
Y.
I think his
So
teammates
it's
call him Manny.
I think so.
Manny.
Manny Bielitsa.
Let's
Yeah,
just call
so
him Manny, dude.
Yeah, sige. Tama naman eh. Tama, dapat lang may money sa, sa Dubs.
yeah, okay. So Bielica ends up with the Dubs on a 1-year veteran, which me I like. Huh? I mean, he's almost like your who's that guy's name again? Who used to play for them? Marquise, the big guy. See, I can't believe I forgot.
Marquez Chris?
Marcus,
No, was it Marquise? Well, their stretch before. Cannot believe I'm. They had a stretch off the bench. I forgot his name, and I can't believe I'm.
David West.
He ended up fighting with Draymond. But anyway, so there we have Bielica being the stretch 4-5 that they have now. I like it. And I'll just add to this also that they finally traded Eric Pascal today to the Jazz. I was mentioning that they were trying to look for a trade with Ingles, but I guess they couldn't make the money work because it would come out to like almost 3 young guys or 2 young guys and a pick for Ingles. It's not really that worth it. So
We're
the
still
Dubs
not going to
just-
have a defensive presence down there, though. I mean, I was really hoping that there would be that, that veteran big or anything. There's no like name that really pops out there. Yeah. Paul Millsap is still was interested. Apparently, we don't know what's gonna happen with that last roster spot after they signed away. Paschal.
they're not getting anyone. I think on that note, I'll add also they're not getting anyone because even someone like Andre Drummond goes to Philly on a minimum deal. Andre Drummond would have been great. I would have offered him the MLE probably,
Yep.
right? But no, they're not in the market for a big traditional big. So Drummond now goes to Philly, and Whiteside goes to.
did they
who did
say?
Whiteside
Did they
sign?
say for how much?
Who? Drummond.
Drummond.
Vet minimum, dude.
I bet
No,
minimum.
vet
That's what I
minimum.
don't understand. That's what
I
I don't
don't-
understand. Did
Yes.
Drummond really not like the idea of playing for the Dubs, or did the Dubs not offer at all?
They didn't like his game or something. I don't know. I have no
You
idea.
know, I mean,
No,
it's like,
kasi-
I mean, I think if they offered,
I don't
you
know.
could have
Maybe,
used him,
maybe
but
it's
maybe they don't like it.
maybe it's the latter nga. Kasi if you look at the Spurs, the last signing of the Spurs also, which fills out the roster, it's the big. They got that Jock Landale from Team Australia. So it's their stretch big. Although the guy shoots, I described him as parang a sloppier Aaron Baines, who can shoot at the 3 also. He's 6'11", medyo the Brusco type maglaro.
Yeah,
And they
Yeah,
just signed
yeah.
him.
dude.
San Antonio had 6 million available before that signing, and they signed him. And that was when Drummond was still available. So, if they
No.
wanted a big, they could have gotten Drummond. But
Oh no, my thing with Drummond though is why would you want to go to Philly for the minimum? I checked already. It is for the minimum. It's for he signs based on which it will be for the league minimum. Okay, per Kyle Newbeck of the Philly Boys. He's going to Philly to get minimum to play backup.
to pay back up.
Why don't you get the league minimum and start and
Right.
build up your
Yes,
value
yeah,
again?
Yep.
And the Dubs could have gotten him. Spurs could have gotten him. Celtics would have used him.
Yes.
Dallas needs some rebounding presence. All they have is Moses Brown and.
I think what he was thinking was he wanted to go a team with relevance. I mean, obviously, why would you sign up with a team with already a very dominant big, which you can still be, in another team. So
Yeah.
he goes for a team that people are going to be watching, a team that is
Yeah.
going to go kind of deep in the playoffs, depending on the mood of
Yeah,
Embiid, Ben Simmons. Does Ben Simmons pass a dunk? I don't know. But, and that's
Okay.
what he was good for. And maybe if he plays enough for them and does well, maybe teams take notice
Yeah.
again. And as opposed to being in a team with not enough
Yeah.
The
I can see that.
Warriors?
I can see that.
a team that's not seen as much.
No, kasi I can see that. Pero, man, what are you gonna do with 18 minutes per game? is the
I
question.
think he could have proven himself. I think he could have proven. I'm just trying to explain. I think
Oh yeah, yeah,
that's what he was
yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
but I don't think it was also the right decision for
Yeah.
him.
No, I get where you're coming from, and I'll just add on to that. The Clippers, they need a big.
Yep.
They got DeMarcus. I mean, I'm sure he didn't want to go back to the Lake. No, go back to the Lakers. It wasn't that bad in the
Or
Lakers.
baka the Lakers didn't offer talaga. Because I
Yeah.
don't think the Lakers offered them vet minimum.
Okay, so on that
I mean,
note,
based
so
on what happened, last season, it was like you saw Harrell left, and then Drummond left, and then
Yeah.
Mark Gasol ends up going back. So there was obviously that log jam there, and you saw suddenly
Yeah.
they didn't play Harrell, and suddenly there was conflict at that at
Yeah.
that big position, and now you see that okay, like this is they should have just gone with Mark Gasol. They shouldn't have gotten Drummond. Maybe they should have gotten somewhere else. But obviously,
Yeah.
it's like they felt that Drummond was a mistake. I think, and Harrell obviously was because he didn't even play in the playoffs.
Mhm.
At a certain point, I was like, man, why did you even get this guy?
Right.
I think you
I
guys.
think that his value. I think Harrell Naman's value really tanked. Out of all of them, I think Harrell is the one that went
Yeah.
from
Yes. From 6
last season. Everyone was
diba?
so high.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last season, everyone was so high on the Lakers signing him, and suddenly drop.
He doesn't
Gone.
mix with LeBron. He mixed them. He needed more of a PNR type. Well, anyway, that's
He needed
to Harold.
he needed guys, Bev and Lewell. He
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
It's like the clip system really benefited him, and sadly, wala, it didn't work out with,
Alam mo,
with the Lakers.
San
I
sana siya
wanted
bagay
it.
for me? If you went to Miami,
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
because of Butler. Yeah.
No, not just because of Butler, but because of the whole the whole personality of the how the Miami team is built, their whole culture.
Yeah,
Parang it's one of the teams that he would just slide right in for me. With, diba? I mean, they're kind of beefing up they're kind of signing up people also.
Yeah.
Where, diba, they signed up Markieff Morris. Parang parehong it would be the same theme if they signed Harrell also.
Now he kind of has a log. Well, now he has to also kind of prove himself in the Wizards, right? Because Gafford was coming up last year for them. So
Yep.
here's the question, and you have Rui, and then
But again, it's
We'll
an
see.
ideal scenario also for someone trying to regain their stock, diba? To
Yeah.
go to a team na who's not which is what we were trying to say about
But you-
Drummond going to Philadelphia, diba? Which is the
but
opposite.
you guys pointed out something that I just realized now. I don't think a lot of teams like Drummond.
Yeah,
I mean, in the end, they made him tap on to Cleveland for a second round pick, huh? I mean, with a big contract and all that. That was like from Detroit to the Cavs, and then the Cavs froze him. It's almost like this guy pissed off.
yeah.
You know how the NBA is like, okay, I always used to say that the NBA is a brotherhood, man. It's very 300 players was very tight knit. Look at, I'll segue now a little bit into Oubre also. Look what happened to Oubre by speaking out that he shouldn't be put in the box. He doesn't want to be off the bench and all that. When Steve Kerr never benched him.
No.
Steve Kerr
Yeah.
started him throughout his whole. There was so much clamor, and he started talking, right? And I was telling Mike, the question was, does he expect to start when Clay comes back? Well, obviously you won't start with Clay, right? I mean, that's Oubre and this is Clay. I mean, this is Oubre, this is Clay. And he took that and he ran with that with the media as his fuel. And look, it's kind of backfiring on him now. So I think with Drummond also at some point in time in the NBA, when you piss off people, they won't get you. There's enough talent in the league.
Well, that's the
But I believe that a lot of players need this arrogance. This over the top confidence. You need that.
Yeah.
You need that to get to the NBA. But then at some point, it has to be balanced by
gotta play
common sense.
Yes,
Kasi
yes.
man, there's some freaking common sense, man. Look at who you're comparing yourself against. A multiple
Yes.
champ, and you've done nothing yet.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, listen to your agent or something, but don't go out there and just, spew your mouth with all of this
Yeah.
bullshit. And then, you hurt yourself.
And the same thing happens now to I'll add that in. What's his name? Schroeder.
Schroeder.
He
Yes.
pissed off the. I mean, he pissed off people in the league to say that you're gonna turn. I mean, we gifted you with an $80 million contract already. That I mean, we thought you were good enough, and then you spurned that, saying you want more. Okay.
And then what was funny with that scenario actually? What was funny with that 80 million? He was just asking for a little bit more.
Yeah, I know, right? I
It's
know. I
not as
mean,
if, diba, na, you know what, 80 is too small, give me 100. It's not even that. It's like 80
yeah,
plus, diba? He
yeah.
was fighting for that last. He was fighting for pennies and cents, dude.
And now now the Dubs will get him down for the MLE. Just kidding.
I think he's the kind of guy, when he goes into a Chinese shop and like he haggles really well. And he was like, I can do this. I could probably do this in the NBA.
And you know what? You know what?
And he decided to haggle, with Rob Pelinka. And boom. And then nothing.
And you know
It's
what's
like,
funny?
He thought
this ain't no Chinese shop, man.
He thought Rob Pelinka would chase him when he leaves the store to get the deal done. you know,
Na parang that
He
walk away
haggled.
style.
He haggled in the
That
the-
walk
the-
away
yeah, the
style.
walk
Walk
out-
away. Walk away muna. Habulin
Diba?
mo yan. Hindi
yeah,
na. But you know what's funny? You look at the Melo scenario years ago, and up to the point that he landed in in Portland. It's the same
yeah,
thing, dude.
yeah,
It was the ego, it was all of the BS
yep,
around him that kind of put him. He put himself in that situation,
yeah,
and that's Melo, dude. Kahit papaano mas may K yan
yeah,
than the mga Schroders and the mga Drummonds of the
yeah,
world, diba? I mean, he has at least something to brag about, but then it still
yeah.
happened to him. So
No, I was actually even pissed off at that the Rockets. I mean, for me, the Rockets really gave a number on Melo
yeah.
to sink his value, man. That was a classic sink your value
Man, that was such a, di ba, we were so
move.
surprised because that all
Jesus
started
Christ, man.
with the D'Antoni conflict, di ba, in New York,
So yeah, I
which
mean, no, that
basically kind of created that wall between him
yep,
and other teams, and then that's why it was funny when the Rockets signed him, and then D'Antoni and the Rockets
yeah.
signed him, and that was a revenge tour, pala, pucha.
That was a revenge tour. They only played him for a week or
Yeah,
two, and they
yeah.
called him unplayable. What the hell was that? But let's go back to our point. So back to Drummond is that voila. I mean, it's not maybe that he couldn't go. The NBA brotherhood here probably is teaching him something also. So
Yeah.
in other words, the agent went up to him and said, "Dude, the only team who wants you is Philly or some other whatever team." And he's like, "Crap. Okay, I guess I gotta go to Philly." That's
Yeah.
that's anyway. And then I want to go through some more free agents. And on that note, the Dubs, yes, EJ, they do not like to get bigs apparently because Hassan Whiteside goes to the Jazz for 1 year, as if they couldn't get bigger. And that's Hassan Whiteside. And you also have Robin Lopez, who I thought the Dubs would actually go for. Robin Lopez goes to Orlando. Very strange.
I don't know what it is about all of these bigs. I mean, but maybe it is the Dubs. Maybe the Dubs are really thinking that someone like that is really not a fit. With their system, they haven't had. Who was probably their biggest big really was what Bogut,
Bogut.
but he was a little bit. He could shoot a little bit. But
No, I couldn't
I don't
shoot.
know. I mean, it
Man.
had to be like a big of that caliber, really,
It had
for
to be
them.
Bogut and Zaza, passing bigs. He had to be a really good passing big for the
Yeah.
Dubs.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so-
no one actually really
Very-
fit that.
Very Spurs, man.
very yeah. No, and okay, and for me, this means that I know who Kerr's real project there, and Kerr will make sure this guy shines. Is Looney. Looney is Kerr's guy. So if they get a big who's good, it's really gonna take away from Looney because Draymond
Yeah.
will probably close anyway. So this is Kerr lifting up Looney all the way. Bucks
Yep.
sign Rodney Hood and George Hill.
Brother.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the Nets also, since I guess they get Patty Mills and they needed more backup, and this time more
Yeah,
like
they
a rest.
needed someone. They needed somebody stable like that. Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
but
needed someone like that on their roster. I mean, I think that was that makes them a little more dangerous.
yeah,
Patty
but now
Mills, for
they also
sure.
got rest back, not just back up. They got rest back by signing James Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Now they have rest back.
yeah,
Well, with Patty
yeah.
Mills, at least they won't have a guard who will go rogue in the end of the game and miss a layup. Remember that that Bruce Brown moment, dude, in the playoffs where
Yeah, yeah.
he tried to play hero ball, man, that was nuts.
Well, since you mentioned that, Bruce Brown, who's also going back to the Nets, so I think their team is
He
set
was good
already.
enough.
Yeah, he
He
was
was good
naman.
enough.
He was.
For
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
He was pretty good in fantasy even, diba?
Yeah, you need a guy like that. Someone knows the system already. You know,
Yeah.
it's like been around. You don't want to mess up with the chemistry too
Yep,
much.
yep.
this would have been a shocker if it didn't happen. Veteran big man Taj Gibson returning to the Knicks.
Uh, I'm surprised they didn't give him the same Chris Paul
Oh
contract
man,
na 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Probably could have given him a
oh
5-year contract. It
man.
was 40, man. Oh, this one. Okay, I want to get to this because this time this is sure ball na. This is the one I was waiting for, and you too, EJ. I know you're a Dubs Laker fan, but Steph agreed to his
Perfect.
$215 million extension. It's not anymore.
Perfect.
It's not anymore. All signs lead to. This is
Yeah.
in fact,
Official.
Steph
Official.
even official. He came out with a statement already saying that yes, they are win now, and he wouldn't have signed back if it wasn't any other way. And he likes the rookies, so his view is in line with whatever Joe Lacob's thinking that
Yes.
they are going to compete with what they have, and they are going to have a future with these rookies. And Steph will retire with the Warriors, and
Right.
Yep.
now all it takes is just one Bradley Beal trade to throw all that away, and we're gutted again.
But I'm really curious. I mean, how Kuminga, how these guys do. I
Dude,
mean,
Kuminga
Wiseman, how is he gonna
yeah,
be as a sophomore so far? We in our personal conversations, we've said that man, the Dubs, they really put a team together before, but they already had that natural time. But when they have to build up the guys, they have to build up these young
yeah,
guys. They've had problems with that in the past, and now it's like a guy like Kuminga is a diamond in the rough. He needs a lot of work.
yeah,
It's like Weissman, the same. So I hope that in the second half or the last third of next season, we
yeah,
actually see some contributions from these guys with the
yeah.
Dubs. Because I
Well,
mean, I'm sick of not seeing. It's not like the Dubs have to be in the playoffs every year, but you have Steph,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Draymond, and now you're gonna have Clay. I mean, come on, man.
They
Let's
have to be
at
in the
least get to
playoffs.
the
Yeah,
second round
Yeah.
again. I don't expect a championship. I mean, it's like I'm not deluded, like that. Is we gotta win fucking all the time, but you know, it's like you have a two-time MVP on your team, and he performed that way last season, and he didn't go anywhere. I'm sick of that. Whether you're a Dubs fan or not, Steph has to be in the playoffs. He has to be competing. He has to give it to those guys.
Right.
my only last thing. Well, okay, two things. I watched Kuminga and Moody a while ago. They were okay. Kuminga and Moody they're very serviceable as
Yeah,
even on their first game. And my last thing to say is that the only thing I like about this is I think it's unprecedented in the NBA wherein you have a supposedly dynasty team that had the opportunity to have 3 lottery picks somewhere
yeah,
in the middle.
yeah,
Mike,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, Mike? The Spurs had the gap and they got one Tim Duncan. And
Right.
that steamrolled everything.
Mhm.
The Dubs had a 2-year gap. Well, not even. They had a 1-year gap. They tried last year, but they didn't make it. And they end up with 3 lottery picks.
Right.
That's what. And they still have Steph,
And they still have
Draymond,
the
Clay.
core. Yeah. Kasi the difference
yeah.
with the difference with the Spurs is during that run of the big three, we didn't really have lottery picks, man.
Yeah, diba? So so this is unprecedented, and I don't understand why they can't make it work that way. Because you can just keep those four younglings in Jordan Poole, Weissman, keep those 4 roster slots. Don't touch that, and then all vets first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And just develop. So I guess we'll move on now. Wow, this is okay. Lakers had a bunch of good signings. Also, when they signed Malik Monk, Kendrick
Besides
Nunn,
Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren,
yeah, they're expendables. The purple and the old.
Purple
the
and
purple and the old. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite so far.
So, but they got Malik Monk, they got Kendrick Nunn, and they also re-signed THT back. That's pretty
Yeah,
good,
they
man.
needed to sign. They needed to sign THT and Nunn in their roster to lower that average age down a little
pull
bit.
it down.
They needed. It's like they needed someone. Oh, sige, takbo. It's like we're gonna rest this guy. Okay, you just run, just go all out. For 25 minutes. Just
And
Yeah.
I think we didn't touch in the last game Melo.
yeah.
Melo's with them
Mm.
I
officially.
think Melo is gonna like playing with LeBron. LeBron knows naman, where he's at in his career. He's proven that he can be a spot up shooter. He can provide some defense. It's like everybody love to hit on Melo for not providing any D, but he does that. He can provide that. He's a good vet. It's like years back I would have hated this, but he's proven himself. I think with Portland.
Like I've always been a Melo fan. I mean, my son's second name is Carmelo. Because I like Melo.
Well, yeah, and
Again,
I think his shift when he kind of accepted that four position role when he moved to four from three. I think that's when
yeah,
he kind of shined also with Portland because even with the age against forwards, power forwards, parang it gave him some edge on quickness and how he can
yeah,
take these guys off the dribble as opposed to where he used to play, which is the wing, diba? The three small forward. And I think
yeah.
that's what we noticed
Right.
also. He kind of dominated with, he can bang it up also on the post defensively, both offensively and defensively. And he's quicker than the power forwards. And ayun nga, and I think it kind of went well with how he aged also and how his game kind of evolved through the years.
And di ba, Mike, nowadays the lines between the guard and the small forward is almost
Right,
non-existent.
right.
And then you have that line between the line pa nga between big wings and centers are still quite clear, right? You
Yes,
still have your
yes,
big, but
yes,
kasi you can run with two wing bigs. But
yes.
no center, you have those two big
Right, right.
mobile bigs.
hmm
But I think with Melo, he could not be a small forward
He cannot
anymore
no more
because
na. And it's perfect
he can't
actually
be.
because that four position now is turning out to be a hybrid between the big. Parang it's where the bigs and the wings meet on that four
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, yeah,
Kasi you
yeah,
have the mga
yeah.
Jason Tatums who essentially started as a wing. You have the mga Giannis, but then
Yep.
it's this unique kind of prototype for the for the four position that's happening
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Parang it's a hybrid between your bigs and your wings.
Yeah. Actually, even like someone like Luca.
Right. Kasi parang ngayon, I
Luca's
think
more like a guard,
if you
but
look at
not a big, not
with
a
all
wing
the
big.
positionless basketball, I think it's the power forward that kind of got lost in the. Kasi you still have your
Yeah.
pure centers, you still have your wings, you still have your guards. It's the power forward position that kind of got lost in the
Yes.
whole
Yep. Yep.
in the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
I mean, people love to say the term stretch four. I mean, like, whatever, man. You're another wing out
You're another
there.
wing.
You
Yeah.
have three wings.
Yes, yes.
And I think okay. Well, aside from that, not well. I have one more name because you have like your Tony Snells going to the Blazers. Okay. Tony Snell and we talked about George Hill. Did we want to talk more about George Hill, who just goes back
Yeah.
to the Bucks? And George
I'm
Niang.
curious. I'm just curious, like, Kawhi Leonard still hasn't signed. What is he thinking? But
We're gonna get to the ones
if
who
he
are still
doesn't,
not.
if he doesn't end up with the Clips, I mean, this is gonna be a whole nother thing again. I'd be like, come on. I mean, really?
Well, I'll go to the last free agent sign, and let's talk about who's still out there. Oladipo signs 1 year to Miami. Oh, Miami, what's up with Pat, man?
Yeah.
That's still. I mean, Okay,
It's
that's
not
a
hard.
four.
It's not a bad. It's not
Yeah.
a bad sign.
No, not at all. It's
No,
just
no,
that.
he took that first round exit really hard, man.
Yeah,
It's like after finals, and it's like, oh, we have this team, and suddenly,
And then they got swept by the team that the team that
yeah.
they bamboozled the year before, diba? So
You know what? I'm trying to load. Okay, we can go to who's next. But my real GM free agent tracker is doesn't seem to be loading. I'm trying to load it right now. Since kanina, I don't know if it's the site or I'll just go
I
with
think Paul Millsap ends up with the Dubs.
Millsap.
Mm.
I would like him to. I mean, I don't
There are
know.
rumors he's interested. Does he
Yeah,
fit?
yeah.
I think he fits.
He fits. He definitely. I mean, he'll definitely fit with the Dubs. I just don't
He's one of
know
them
if
that's still available.
He is interested.
Yep.
I hope. I would rather though. Depends. If it's the MLE,
here
I would
But
have
you've
liked.
got a guy for me.
I have it now.
It's
I have
like,
it now.
okay.
I'll go, EJ. You were still saying?
No, I mean, it's like I would rather that they get someone like him rather than break Kelly Oubre back. I mean, you already have
Ah,
a guy
no.
like.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's like I like Porter a lot more.
Me personally, since I will just personally, if we have the MLE pa, I would go for Schroeder. Give him a revenge tour against the Lakers. I would get Schroeder and say, look at this team, man.
Definitely.
And then
If we're
because we
just
need
going on,
scoring.
if we're just going on what do you call this?
1 year. What's 1 year,
A wish
diba?
list.
Yeah.
Wish list of who's still out there. Yeah, why
And
not?
then
Let's
and
go
then
with Schroeder.
I would have gotten someone like I would have gotten Robin Lopez to have that big, or even Whiteside. Maybe not Whiteside for the attitude, but I would have gotten one of those like Drummond, Robin Lopez on the minimum, and then I'll call it an off season. That's what I would have done. We forgot John Collins. So John Collins also is back with the Hawks already. So
Yep.
that's done.
You mentioned
okay.
Danny
More-
Green. Danny Green also is going back to Philly.
Yes, no, not
Okay.
yet. Danny Green's going back to Philly. So who's available? Na lang, it's
Reggie Jackson.
Kawhi. Reggie
Mhm.
Jackson, wala pa.
Wala
Also.
pa.
There, I don't mind Reggie Jackson also for the Dubs, actually. Those two, any of those two. Kawhi still available. Reggie Jackson, can you imagine? Both.
Screw it, man. Let's get Kawhi. Why not?
There, Kelly Oubre, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, yeah.
Short also works actually. I mean, Linamar, our system is so free flowing. You just gotta manage to master that system.
That's about it. I mean,
That's what make it work.
Redick.
That's about it.
Actually, Redick is still a free agent. Also.
yeah, Redick. Markkanen.
Is Lou Williams?
Yeah,
or
Markkanen.
Lou will sign anywhere na?
No, that's another one. Lou Williams also, wala pa. This
Iggy,
one's not
Iggy,
up.
they haven't signed Iggy yet, right?
I'm pretty sure they'll sign Iggy.
No,
It's-
do you have,
it's been-
do you have slots pa left? Do you have rosters?
Yeah. We have roster slots. Hey, I was gonna ask you. I mean, you talked briefly about the whole DeMar thing in the Spurs. Have you liked what the Spurs have done recently, Mike?
Well, I don't like it, diba? Kasi this only means that I'm looking at another 3 years of watching this shit show go down. Pero at least what I like lang is at least there's a clear direction na nga moving forward. I think I know what they're trying to do. I like the pieces that they brought in kasi this will allow the young core to finally it'll give them a chance to come into their own because there's no more main guy. So I'm talking about DeJounte Murray and particularly DeJounte, Derek White, and Keldon Johnson. So hopefully within these next 3 years, one or more of the one or two of them finally break out, so we can have more options in the future when all of these mga contracts and these mga players that we signed this year expire. We'll have that flexibility in the next 3 years to sign the proper stars or the proper players to surround them with. So
I'll give you another trade, Mike,
okay,
because I think he's kind of redundant with you.
okay,
Why don't we sign it? We'll sign Oubre and trade you for Thad Young.
Wag na. Wag
Ayaw.
na. Wag na. I like that young. I like that. I like that pickup actually. Wag na.
No, Thad Young's good, but it's like he'll take from Keldon right now.
Yeah, yes or no? I mean,
Yes and no. Okay, okay, okay. I won't push na
pero at
for
least he's not.
Kelly.
Hindi, for me lang, what I like lang over Oubre. Kasi si Thad Young is already on that kind of downhill of his career, diba? Because of the
Yeah,
injuries. Oubre is still going, trying to reach that
yeah,
peak of his
okay.
career. So mas malaking conflict yan with Keldon than if you get a Thad Young who's just trying to, just stay afloat basically with his career.
We're scraping here with Terrence Davis. Paul Millsap also still has no team.
But here's a
Terrence-
juicy one. I mean, LMA, LaMarcus Aldridge, we were talking about it earlier. He's considering
Dude,
coming back. We know last season he was, diagnosed with an irregular heartbeat.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to think. It reminds me of Chris Bosh. Remember when he was diagnosed
Yeah,
with blood clot, and he was trying, and every season there was this rumor that it was come back. So if I'm gonna pick it up, I don't think it happens because the NBA still has to clear that, and they're like they'd be
Yeah.
crazy
Yes.
to clear that after that happens. But man, could you imagine a comeback for LMA?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like you were saying a while ago. I don't want to deal with some heartbreaking news and then there's footage. of it.
Imagine that, right? In the
Yes.
middle of the game, something happens. Holy crap, man.
I
We have
mean-
enough like black candles on our Facebook pages,
Yeah, I mean-
on the daily, then we actually see it in a live game. Forget that.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not like he's a young player. Na okay, let's build your career. Let's build your dream. No, come on, man. He's made enough
36.
money.
Mhm.
Stay with your family and enjoy the
I think-
money.
I
There,
think
that's
that's the ano lang. I think that was a knee jerk. If it's true nga na he wants to come back, it may be a knee jerk reaction lang from all the free agency action. Para
Yeah.
na-excite siguro siya.
Wow,
Uy,
all of these
uy,
things.
teka lang, I can freaking choose a team and
Yeah.
maybe win a ring next year, di ba?
I feel left
That's
out.
true.
Medyo parang ano lang, baka na-excite lang masyado yan.
Oh, this one, Brent Forbes. You guys got Brent Forbes
we
back.
got him back, man. Comeback tour yan. Which
Comeback
tells me nga,
tour.
it all of these signings are slowly, pointing to the same to the same direction that they're trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's really development. That's it. Now, yun na lang yung consuelo de bobo ko dyan with the roster that we have right now is maybe they'll still fight, I'm sure. Si Pop will never tank. I've accepted that already. So maybe we have a team that will suck enough to get us lottery picks in the next few years. Yun na lang. That's all I'm hoping. They fight for that last playoff spot. They just couldn't and happened to fall to the 10th place of the 10th or lower in the Western Conference, and we get higher in the lottery. So that's it. So I'm happy.
Okay,
I just have to wait.
I don't really want to go through the other names anymore, except for that I'm pretty sure Redick ends up with the Lakers. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised also if Lou Williams ended up with the Lakers. I mean, that's
At this point, I wouldn't be
and I'm
surprised
saying
if
that-
any of these
No.
guys.
Yes. No, but I'm saying Lou Williams as a good thing. Huh? That might be actually a good thing. But since they already have
Uy.
Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk, I don't know.
Actually, Lou Will, I think, makes sense for the Lakers because he's in that age
Yeah.
bracket. He's in that age bracket of the the guys they're signing.
No,
At
let's
this point,
but
I'm
it's
really
already-
surprised if
but
he
it's
ended up
already-
with the Lakers.
Yeah, no, let's
Who's
not.
not gonna end up with the Lakers?
But he's
Dude,
in
Mike, Jay-
what?
Jay's gonna come back with a storm on the next episode,
I know,
man, and he's
I know.
gonna.
I'm
That's
just-
why we should.
Hey, I'm shooting. I'm just
Yeah.
shooting this out because he's not here. Pero
Shout out,
pero yeah.
shout out to Jay,
Yeah,
man. I
man.
hope everything's going well with your moving. It's a hassle, but it's gonna be good for good
Ayan,
things.
eto, may phone in question. Speaking of the devil, man, we got a phone
Oh,
in
what?
question. Mga katoto, why talk about the Lakers without me there?
I know,
Right on cue.
right on,
Right on
I'm gonna
cue,
end
the J-Man.
About it.
The homies. We were. That's why. That's why I was that a comment now lang or
Now
kanina pa?
lang,
Now
it
lang.
just literally
Yeah, that's
popped
what.
up, man. Don't you read your comments?
Feeling left out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey,
But
hey,
definitely.
Jay. I knew it already. Once we were hitting too much Laker talk, I was like, dude, you're we miss you. There. That's what I was saying. Na
Yeah.
lang. We miss you, and we hope your
Yeah.
move is well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least, dude, we saved you a walkout for tonight because it could have been a walkout with all the things we said.
This is our first
You get some
episode now
rest,
without.
bro.
Yeah.
You get some rest.
Yeah. No, but it's our first episode without Jay, and it's like, oh nga, no. When we started talking about the Lakers, like something was kulang, something was very, very kulang.
Oh, ito, meron pa siya.
Nobody walked out. God
He's
damn
very
it.
I mean for somebody who's just commenting, he's very talkative now. LBJ called to tell me. And then there's a pause. So
Okay.
let's see what LBJ told him. So
Okay,
anyway.
okay, okay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yep.
Yep.
very few movements left in the NBA. I mean, next thing it's already going to be Vegas Summer League. Once Vegas after Vegas Summer League is that big lull. We're going to have a long lull
Yeah,
of training camp.
training camp. Yep.
Yeah, so that's when we'll start doing our fantasy draft. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, we start thinking of fantasy already. Did I look like a?
But there's gonna be
walrus?
like that 1 month lull.
Arr. That's we just lost 5 viewers.
Hard,
Yeah.
man, doing the show and doing a draft. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
You know what? I'll try to get some. I'll try to get our 2-time batch winner into the stream if he's amenable because he won my batch league twice. I mean, 3 years we were doing our batch league and he won it twice and was runner up another time, I think. Oh no, or like so try to get him here for some insights.
Yeah.
So hey, thanks again for coming, EJ. I mean whenever you're available. I know because of your day job that if it's at night like now, you're more
Pwede.
available.
Sometimes pwede. Depende. Preferably weekends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
on
it's
weekends.
fun to talk basketball anyway.
Any last thoughts about free agency or the Olympic Games, Mike?
No, I'm good. I think we
You're
covered
good?
pretty much everything
Yeah,
until Saturday.
till Saturday.
Well, and I'm just happy that we still get a little bit more basketball. We
Yeah.
have USA versus France,
Yeah.
should be a good one.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, this is a
Dude,
good filler for sure.
Yeah, dude, try checking out the summer league. Ij Kuminga, so
Yeah.
much raw talent, and then Moody is more calm. You know, Moody's gonna be a 3-and-D guy. Kuminga's gonna be like that's the guy who's either gonna really take off or bust. Yung parang ganyan. It's like that's the one. Moody's gonna be good. Anyway,
I'm sure the highlights will take care of all of that.
yeah. Mike, you got any last wise words for us tonight?
Well, I'll borrow from one of our favorites, Bruce Lee, for tonight. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Medyo it's fitting for the Drummond story and the Luka because he should have shown off.
Yeah.
Should have shown off.
And then I was about to
Yeah.
say, maybe that's why he passed.
Maybe
Like
did.
Bruce Lee.
Yep. And because Jay's not here, on that note, this was the
Go!
huddle. And we said it first here on
Bet!
bench. The bench. The bench. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Pilipinas.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Pilipinas. Don't forget to like and follow
Yep.
the Bench Live.